Learn about a country every day. Kyrgyzstan. He is the hometown of the poetry, but it is also the country with the greatest shortage of men in Central Asia. National 7.40 million population. There are 870,000 people working abroad for a long time. For every 3 adult males between the ages of 25 and 40, there is one on a foreign construction site in Kyrgyzstan. About a third of the country's villages, it's almost zero prime-age males. In the remote mountainous regions of Naran and Talas, more than 60% of villages, it has been completely transformed into a women's village. The 2026 census shows that there are 127 villages with males between the ages of 18 and 40. The permanent population is zero. They are all in Russia or work in Kazakhstan. Some haven't been home for more than 10 years, although the laws of Kyrgyzstan polygamy is expressly prohibited, but in the face of the reality of male scarcity, this law is no longer valid. Rural areas in Kyrgyzstan, a man has 2 or even 3 wives. It's an open secret. Most of these men work abroad. They marry a wife abroad. Take care of your own life. Leave a wife in the country to take care of the elderly and children. Domestic wife. Due to their complete financial dependence on their husbands, you can only choose to swallow it. According to estimates by women's organizations in Kyrgyzstan, there are about 5 to 100,000 women in the country living in a polygamous family. They have no legal standing, no inheritance rights. Once the husband dies or stops sending money, they and their children will fall into abject poverty. In Kyrgyzstan, there is a popular saying that women are like pouches. It gets hard after 25. You can't eat it after the age of 30. That sounds mean. It is the true fate of countless women in the rural South. Women over the age of 25 who want to get married. Not only can't you ask for a bride price and a dowry, a 27-year-old, the girl's parents usually accompany a cow, 20 sheep, and a whole set of furniture. Some even have to accompany a piece of land. Even so, many girls still can't get married. Spring 2026, a 29-year-old girl from Osh State, parents accompanied a house and 10 cows. Still no one wants to marry her because the young men in the village are all working in Russia. The rest are either disabled or alcoholics. His mother knelt in the mosque every day to pray, may Allah grant him a son-in-law. Many people think there is generally no dowry for marriages abroad. It's not. Kyrgyzstan also has a high bride price. However, the bride price in Kyrgyzstan extremely polarized. Beautiful young girls aged 20 to 22, the bride price can rise above 200,000 som, equivalent to 15,000 renminbi. They're in short supply. And women over the age of 25, the bride price will be cut in half, below 50,000. Many people don't even want a dowry. Divorced or widowed women over the age of 30 not only no dowry, also bear all the wedding expenses. The weight of high bride price revive the ancient habit of stealing. Marriages become a zero dowry gift for some rural men, the shortcut to marrying a wife. It also makes marriage and love twisted and cruel. The process of stealing marriage is simple, and rude men take a fancy to girls, gather relatives and friends to forcibly take him back to the man's house. Once the girl enters the man's house, public opinion and family pressure will force him to compromise. Local opinion holds that a girl is not pure when she enters a strange man's house. Parents often persuade their daughters to accept their fate, avoid family humiliation. The whole process requires no dowry, no need to fall in love, no woman's consent is required. The man gets married at almost no cost. Perfect escape from the pressure of high bride price. According to United Nations data from 2025, Kyrgyzstan, 20% of marriages in the country come from robbery in rural areas. It's as high as 60%. Kyrgyzstan, and as a result, it became known as the land of marriage grabs. However, today's Kyrgyzstan, marriage theft is no longer a single violent crime, but a love elopement, a complex mix of traditional rituals and extreme violence. More than 70% of these are entirely voluntary agreements between the parties. Some women even ask to be robbed. Many people believe that marriage robbery is a violent kidnapping, but actually some girls are free to fall in love with their boyfriends. But the parents disagree or demand a high bride price. They will discuss it with their boyfriend. Let your boyfriend steal you. In this way, according to traditional customs, parents can no longer object to this marriage, can no longer ask for a bride price. There are also girls who have not married off after the age of 25, worried that I would never get married again. Will take the initiative to ask someone to tell the right man, let them rob themselves. For these girls, marriage theft is not violence, it's about getting rid of parental control. The only way to achieve freedom in marriage. Kyrgyzstan is located in the northeast of Central Asia, north to Kazakhstan. The east borders our country, Xinjiang, south neighbor Tajikistan, Western Union, Uzbekistan. The total land area is about 199,900 square kilometers. Total population about 7.40 million. The capital, Bishkek, is the largest city in the country. Population about 1.36 million. Bishkek, and a name that makes the world more familiar. Hibiscus juice. Falungzi is both a person's name and a place name. The famous Falungzi Military Academy. It has something to do with the legend of Furungi. Only Hibiscus Military Academy from its establishment to the present always in Moscow. Never existed a day in contempt of Kyrgyzstan is known as the Switzerland of Central Asia. The Tian Shan Mountains and the Pamir Plateau meet here. More than 90% of the country is mountainous. The deepest in the world, the alpine lake Issyk-Kul. There are snow-capped mountains and glaciers that do not melt in middle age. There are endless alpine meadows. His natural beauty, it does seem to be on par with Switzerland. However, it is regrettable that Switzerland is one of the richest countries in the world, and Kyrgyzstan, it is one of the poorest countries in the world, also sitting on snow-capped mountains and lakes. Switzerland relies on tourism and high-end manufacturing. Become a developed country, and Kyrgyzstan, but only by exporting gold and cheap labor to make a living. Median wages in Kyrgyzstan in 2026 only about 1,170 yuan. That is to say, more than half of the people in the country less than $1,200 a month. However, although the absolute amount is not high, but if a person cooks completely by himself, 300 to 400 renminbi per month, you can have meat and milk, adequate nutrition. A bachelor spending 600 to 800 yuan per month to maintain the most basic life. Really expensive. It's all things that need to be industrially produced. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Kyrgyzstan's industrial system has collapsed. More than 90% of the country's industrial products rely on imports. High tariffs and transportation costs let the price of all imported goods 2 to 3 times more expensive than our country's $6 for a bottle of Coca Cola. A toothpaste costs 8 yuan. An ordinary cotton t-shirt costs more than 100 yuan. A pair of sneakers costs more than 400 yuan. An ordinary air conditioner costs more than 2,000 yuan. It is equivalent to 2 months' salary of an ordinary person. The average smartphone costs over $3,000. Many young people, you have to save half a year to afford it due to the ridiculously expensive price of new products. Therefore, it gave birth to the world's most prosperous second-hand market. Despising kachuu, almost you can buy any second-hand goods you can think of. Clothes and shoes, furniture, appliances, car, computer, even second-hand teeth prosthetics, and earns. Most of these goods come from Europe, Russia, and China. The price is only 1/10 of the new item. Many ordinary families, I've never bought a new thing in my life. All their daily necessities are bought on the second-hand market, and that's why. For the majority of ordinary people in Kyrgyzstan, the trajectory of their lives, it was doomed from the day you were born in the countryside, finish middle school or high school, then go to Russia to work, earn enough money, and come back to build a house, marry a wife, and have a few children. When the child grows up, let them go to work in Russia. It's an infinite loop, generations after generations, repeating the same fate. Xiaohui also became Kyrgyzstan's economic life infra. For many families, Xiaohui is the only source of income. No Xiaohui, many families can't even eat. Kyrgyzstan was a member of the Soviet Union. 70 years of Soviet rule to Kyrgyzstan, leaving an indelible mark until today. He still retains traces of the Soviet era all over the world. The most complete country. Walking down the streets of the capital, Bishkek, you will feel as if time has stopped. In 1991, the street is still named after the Soviet era. A statue of Lenin stands in the square. The building is still in the style of the Hrushifu building. People speak fluent Russian. Listening to Soviet songs, the Soviet Union left him with a 98% literacy rate, leaving behind the concept of equality between men and women, leaving behind a free education and healthcare system. It leaves the infrastructure intact. These legacies, it's still running this country today. Many of the elderly still deep nostalgia for the Soviet era. They saw the collapse of the Soviet Union as a disaster. In their opinion, freedom and democracy today far less stable and fairer than the Soviet era. Kyrgyzstan is like a living fossil, showing the world what the Soviet Union used to be like. It also shows the trauma left after the collapse of the Soviet Union. This is Kyrgyzstan, a seemingly poor but also full of complex societies.